Hello everyone and welcome to another video by Centipede Geek. Today I'm going to discuss my thoughts and opinions upon a DirecTV original program by the name of Black Mirror. And without any further ado, let's go to get to it, shall we? I'm going to talk about the first episode of the first series. This is a British television show, so therefore, the seasons are called series, and, we here in America, we just call them seasons, but in the UK, they call them series, so otherwise known, series 1, season 1, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to talk about the first episode titled The National Anthem. Just so you guys know, as I said earlier, Black Mirror is originally a British television show. It originally broadcasted as of December 4th of 2011 is when it originally came on. Well, I guess somehow DirecTV now has the rights to it, and now they are calling it their own DirecTV original program. I just found out that DirecTV actually has many original programs. They have one called Secret State that is also a British miniseries that actually came on just today, actually. They also have another one, Full Circle, which I just actually recently finished the first season, which I will put a full season review up in the next few days. And as I said, Black Mirror is a British television series. It's actually a British anthology, where each episode is a different story, different setting, different plot, different characters, different reality. So you don't really have to, start on the first episode. It being an anthology, similar to American Horror Story, though each episode is a different story. Instead of the full season, it's just each episode. Imagine, maybe the Twilight Zone or something like that, where each episode is an individual story, kind of like the Masters of Horror episodes. From the years like 05 and 06 and 07, I believe is when that was around. Similar to that, where each episode is roughly about 45 minutes long, no commercials, because DirecTV original programs do not air commercials within their programs. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get to the plot of the first episode titled The National Anthem for the DirecTV original program by the name of Black Mirror. Now, originally coming into this show, I thought it was mainly like a horror sci-fi anthology, but I guess each episode is a little bit different, actually. This first one is pretty much a political drama. It actually involves it takes place in the UK, of course. It actually involves the Prime Minister. In this episode, the princess is captured by some sort of murderer or some sort of crazy killer, and he makes this bargain or makes this plea with the Prime Minister, saying, the only way I will free her, the only way I'll let your princess go, is if you have sex with a pig. Now, yes, that's a very crazy premise. Where do they go with that? Do they take it seriously? They take this premise very seriously. Though the premise is a little strange, it takes itself very seriously. So this is pretty much a drama on about the Prime Minister on deciding whether or not he's actually going to have sex with this pig in order to free the princess in the UK. That's pretty much the plot of the first episode, titled The National Anthem, for the DirecTV original program by the name of Black Mirror. Just so you guys know, there will be spoilers in this video. Overall, I really enjoyed this first episode. I will say it took a little while because I really didn't know how to take the first, I didn't know how to take the show. I was like, it was such a crazy premise. It was such a sort of, I guess you could say, moral wrong that I didn't really know, where the first episode was going to go with it. But overall, I really enjoyed it. It's pretty much just, I loved, Michael Callow's character. That's the character, played by British actor Rory Kinnear, I believe is how you pronounce his name. I really enjoyed the main Prime Minister's character. There's a few scenes where he's yelling. I really enjoyed those scenes where he's like, he kicks his desk and he sort of says, I'm gonna have to do this, because the first, major spoilers coming up, they end up, they think they found the place where the killer's holding the girl, and ends up being just a decoy, so he ends up having to have sex with the pig. And I didn't know how the first episode was gonna show that. I didn't know if they were gonna show it, because this is TVMA. But what they did was all they really showed was maybe like the upper half of his body through a television screen, because the entire actual, UK is watching, even people on a global scale are watching. So what I enjoyed about this was that it has sort of an underlying moral, ethical element. How far would you go to save a person? Would you have sex with a pig if it was your only option? It had that sort of underlying element that I really enjoyed, and overall I thought it was actually pretty decent. I just really enjoyed it, and I don't really have anything bad to say about it. Out of a 1 out of 10 rating, I'd probably give the first episode a solid 8, maybe even a 9, because it raises that, element of, maybe even a 10, because of this. It was a really solid, I guess you could say, political drama that I really didn't have any problems with. Like I said, the Prime Minister, for me at least, really stole the show for this one. There were a few of the characters that I thought were decent. One of the scenes I liked was actually towards the end, when you actually found out what the killer's true motive was. That was a great twist that they intertwined there, when you found out that the killer was just trying to see how far the Prime Minister was go. He actually let the victim free 30 minutes before he actually was going to have sex with the pig. 30 minutes before the live television broadcast of him having sex with a pig was actually going to happen. So all the killer was trying to do was see how far the Prime Minister would go. I also enjoyed that shift between, at first, only 28% thought, 28% of the UK thought that he should go through with it. There was a big, 70, 2% that said no, you don't need to go through with it. And as time progressed, the UKN, the United Kingdom nation, that said, hey, maybe you should do it. So it ended up being a whopping, 28% that declined whether or not, and then the 72% ended up saying you should do it, you need to do it, and it ended up being at first where the crowd's like cheering him on, and then slowly as they, the broadcast ends up being for about an hour, the crowd slowly starts to be disgusted by what they're watching, and it has that whole moral element. I think if I was to rate it 1 out of 10, I'm probably just going to go ahead and give it a solid 10, because of that, the underlying element, of ethics, how far would you go to save a person? I love that deep element it has, and overall the acting is great, and overall it's just a great drama. Really unexpected plot, but I think if you're willing to give it a chance, I think you might enjoy it, because it's different than probably, other things you may have seen. Anyways, that's my thoughts and opinions for the British anthology DirecTV original program in the name of Black Mirror for the first episode of Series 1 titled The National Anthem. It premieres every Tuesday night, I believe 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock for everyone else, and right before Secret State, which is another new DirecTV original program. Well, that's my thoughts. Make sure to stay tuned in every week. Next week's episode is episode 2 titled 15 Million Merits. Once again, thanks for watching the video by Centipede Geek. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the page below, and I'll see you guys later. More videos by Centipede Geek.